Welcome, everybody. This is Coach DDERELL Spears. I'm happy to be here once again, guys. So, today we are going to talk about determining the value of a woman. Now, today is Monday, and as you all know, on Mondays, I will do a video that is dedicated for the men. So, we're going to determine what is the value of women. I'm going to talk to you about how to determine the value. Now, I want us to understand for the men, what I'm going to talk about today is not the be all end all. This is just a few suggestions. This is a kind of tools to look at for you to evaluate what is the value. The value that you see a woman as is basically your subjective measurement. So what you value is not what another man value. Too many times in society, we want to measure all women the same, but all men have different needs, different wants, different desires. All men have different things that are important to them at whatever point in their life. So there's a lot of things that one could think about in developing what they considered a measuring stick for the value of a woman that they want in their life. Now, I'm not here to talk about Kevin Samuel, high value woman, high value men. That's not the case because high value anything is subjective to the person that wants that, the person that they're looking at. Okay, the person of the opposite sex. What I value is not going to be equivalent to what another man values, and nor should it be. And I would encourage all men in listening, do not base your value based on what other men think is valuable. You're going to sell yourself short and you're going to find yourself with a woman you probably don't really want because you were looking at things based on what another man thinks and feels. Okay. And to the ladies listening, listen, um, this particular show today is not about devaluing you. This is respectfully understanding what is some of the major characteristics of a valuable woman. If you don't fit some of those things and you feel that someone's listen, that's not intentional. This is just basically talking in a broad standpoint because this is to fit the men who are watching. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is what men look at is attractiveness. Okay. Men value attractive women. However, as I have talked about in many situations, physicality has its value to a certain extent. It's okay wanting an attractive woman, but if you place a lady's attractiveness above other important qualities, you're going to lose at the end because at the end, as you continue to grow and be with this person, you're going to start seeing behaviors and thought processes and decision making and things that you find important will trump how great she looked. There are tons of beautiful, attractive women who can't get a man that can't keep a man. Okay. And they wonder why. And they think because I'm beautiful that are attractive, that men are just supposed to overlook those things. A smart thinking man is going to look at more than that. A smart thinking man is going to look at other aspects of the relationship and how that person operates. So let's talk about attractiveness, which is flexible. Now, in this culture, we talk about the woman with the big booty. I'm talking about black culture because I'm mainly talking to black men here. And if there are other people from other cultures, whatever is seen as stereotypically attractive, it can apply to you in the same respect. Okay. For white men, um, blonde hair, big titties, petite, we get it. For Hispanic men, we're looking at spicy his Latin women, long, thick, dark brown hair, brown eyes, with a little meat on their body, maybe not necessarily as petite. With Asian men, it's thin, petite, and so on. Okay, it varies every culture. But to the black community that I'm talking to, we're talking about black men desire women who are thick. We like thicker women, thick in shape women who are attractive. We like women that are kept up. They hair a certain way, whether it's natural or not. And I know there are people who think that black men devalue women wearing weave and wigs. That's a lie. There are most black men in this country are see that they see um, many black men, I would say, find black women attractive by fixing themselves up with a ton of accessories. I'll put it in that perspective. They are okay with that. If they wasn't okay with that, many of these rappers and R&B singers and actors, they would not be wearing these things if black men did not find it attractive. These women will not be getting the attention on Instagram and social media, Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok if that wasn't the case. So let's keep it above. So when we're talking about physicality, we're talking about what you like and what you find attractive. Now, what I find attractive is not necessarily what you find attractive, but we do value um, someone that looks good, that looks decent. Everybody has a different range. I'm not out here and never have been the type that's looking for the baddest, looking whatever. No, 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 no. I'm looking for someone that is attractive, that I find certain things that I like attractive. I encourage you to look at the things that you like that are attractive about women, and you approach those women that fit that. Next thing that I talk about above when you talk about attractiveness, because I'm looking at that, I'm not putting attractiveness first, but when you immediately see someone, of course, that's what you're going by initially. Initial attraction is important, but the more and more you get involved with someone, or the longer and longer that you're interacting with them, um, there should be other attributes that take precedence over attractiveness, such as, is this person intelligent? Intelligence does matter. I know there are people who claim that your degrees don't matter. Coach D. Durrell said the hell they do matter, because if you're trying to build with someone, whether or not that person agrees to stay at home or not, that person has a certain educational level that will also benefit the children that you all produce, and also help you if you're an entrepreneur or you doing other different things. She can apply her intelligence to help and assist you in whatever things that you're attempting to do in life. So it does matter whether she's in her profession or not. Due to that female accumulating whatever skills and knowledge that she developed over time can be applied to your relationship, and it could be applied to building long term. The next thing I'm looking at, her decision making. Okay. Decision making is very important. I know it's tied to intelligence in a sense, but when we're talking about problem solving and decision making, uh, you know, being able to show discernment, being able to identify risk, things that maybe you may miss that she may be able to identify to prevent a mistake. As black men, we do a poor job of recognizing the talents of our women and using those talents to benefit the both of us. There are a lot of black men who think that they're automatically better at things because of being a man, and that's just not true. There are tons of things that women, or particularly that person, I would say, is better than you at. And it could be most things. There are relationships in which should handle the fact that your mate, your female that you're with, is more intelligent than you, is more talented than you, is more versatile than you. Take advantage of that instead of trying to um, uh, bring her down to your level. No, lift her up because it's benefiting the both of you. Women understand that. Women, and I know people want to label it hypergamy because of the men that people think that they chose hypergamy. They're usually more intelligent. They're usually more resourceful. They're usually more aggressive, and they apply more things to life, and they show their success. That's okay. That's okay. But as men in the 21st first century, 20, I'm sorry, as men in this century, okay, we, 22nd century, we should understand that as modern men, we should be taking advantage of the gifts that our women have and collaborate with your woman to create a better life for the family. Next thing I'm looking at, is she able to bear children? This is important for men who want children. It may not be as important for men who don't want to have any more children. And also, you have to evaluate the value of a woman who already has children and how many. And if you decide to marry that person, can you financially take care of her children and your children? Now, I have said in previous videos, if you're a man with no children, I would encourage you. I'm not saying you shouldn't in 100%. I would encourage you to date a woman with no children. However, in life, it doesn't work like that all the time. So, as a man with no children, you may want to have a number. I'm willing to date a woman with no more than 1 or 2 children. Okay. That's up to you. Some men say none, some say 1, some say 2. Doesn't really matter. But as long as you develop that for yourself. Because see, we're talking about the value because I know a lot of women may not want to hear this, but the more children you have in the date that you bring into the dating market, the less most men are willing to put up with that, are willing to want to be in a relationship with you. Most men don't want to be in a relationship with a woman that has more than 2 or 3 children. Now, there's plenty of men that are willing to be okay with one. And then there's some, particularly those that already have children. Okay, I can deal. She got 2 kids. I got 2 kids. Whatever. We can maybe make this work. Or if they got 1 kid. But if you got 3, 4, 5 or more kids, it will be, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is highly difficult for other men to want to deal with that, who want to have a ready-made family of more than 5 or 6 people, even if they have children. They could have 3 kids and don't want a woman. Which to me, if you got 3 kids, you should accept someone else. But we're talking about 6 kids total plus you. That's 8. Now you got to get a 5, 6 bedroom house. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep it above. So the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that your common interests. Common interest value system. Okay. Those things are valuable. How many things y'all like doing together? Do y'all like the same things? Are you interested in the same thing? We value things that we like to do. And you're going to value doing those things with people who enjoy doing them with you. As Black men, we like women who know how to manage things. A woman who can manage the household, who can manage things around the house, who the house is her domain. And I'm not just merely limiting that to being domesticated. I'm looking at the fact that can you manage bills? Can you manage some level of finances? Can you manage to make sure and make me aware of what needs to be taken care of in the home? Okay. Or are you just going to overlook things? Or are you just going to spend recklessly? We value women who can understand how to operate a household and manage a family because a woman is a natural manager of the home. Men may be the head of the household, but women do the brunt of the managing. The day to day is done by women. Okay. And the fact that when women manage, men, you should be assisting in that. One of the most difficult things that I've seen in most relationships that I've seen throughout my years of counseling is that there are many women who complain that men don't help them enough in the household. They think because they go home and work that everything else should be left to her, who is equally working. Okay. So again, men, I'm talking to you, just kind of throwing that around. I kind of know that may deviate a little bit, but we want to look at you developing, creating how you value your woman. We value cooking. We value the organization, the managing, cleaning. We value just your value system and how you will teach the children if you want children. Men value how you are perceived in public, believe it or not. Now, for me, I don't give a damn how people perceive my wife or perceive me. But image, if you people want to be perceived as being respectful across the board. And to a certain extent, myself too. Not saying you got to have a trophy wife, but we're talking about a respectable woman. Now, there are some things that I'm missing. This video was not intent to go down the line on everything. It's just me listing a few things to start you off as you go through this journey, developing how you're going to value a woman. And this is not about a 9, 8, 9, 10s. Most men are not going to marry an 8, 9, and 10. Some of you are going to be lucky to marry a 4. Many of you are going to marry a 5 and a 6, and a decent percentage will marry 7s. Okay, 8, 9s, and 10s, select few. And I'm gonna be honest, there's a large percentage of those 8, 9s, and 10s who are not valuable. They look good, but they're not valuable. You have to determine that. Now, also, lastly, the value of the sexual relationship is also a key thing. That itself is also another subjective situation that you have to determine as far as the sexual viability of your mate, as far as her pleasing you and you enjoying the sexual interaction, depending on how much you value sex in a relationship. So these are some of the things to start off with. You can add on additional things. That's up to you. This is Coach D. Darrell Spears. Have a great day. Peace.